Hi, welcome to Theme Honey Lessons. Today I want to talk about how we create sidebars. What's a sidebar? Well, it's this little area over here, and if you don't have a sidebar enabled specifically in Genesis, what you'll typically see is something called the primary sidebar widget area. This is the primary sidebar widget area. You can add content to this area by visiting your widgets panel and adding new widgets to this area. Well, what is the widgets panel? On the back end, let's go to appearance and widgets. And in Genesis, we actually rely heavily on widget areas to add content throughout a theme. So oftentimes you will find some Genesis themes just jam-packed with widget areas, and they're used to lay out content throughout a website, the header, the footer, the sidebar, everything. So today I'm just giving you a very brief basic overview of how we add content to what we traditionally refer to as a sidebar widget. And in Genesis, again, we have something called the header right. This is the header widget area. It typically appears next to the site title or logo. The header right is usually, if you can see my mouse, in this area someplace. The primary sidebar, that's what this is. So let's go ahead and add some content. I think it's always a really good idea to have a search widget on a sidebar. So I'm going to give this a title of search and click save. And I'll refresh. And now we have a search widget. Let's add some featured posts. This is the official Genesis featured posts widget, and it has a lot of options. I don't use all of these options, but I use a lot of them. So I'm going to call this recent posts. I want posts from all categories to appear. The number of posts to show, I think that 6 is a good number. Number of posts to offset. This means, do I want to skip any posts? Posts by default appear in descending order by date and time. Time if they were all published on the same date. So number of posts to offset. Basically, do you want to skip the most recent couple of posts? I don't. How do we want to order? By default, it's the date, but you can order by the title, the parent, the ID, the comment count, or you can have it do random. Let's do date. The descending sort order, descending or ascending. Exclude previously displayed posts, exclude sticky posts. I'm not going to check either of those boxes. Show the author gravatar. I generally don't do that. Show a featured image. Sure. Let's show a featured image with a thumbnail that is aligned to the left. Do we want to show the post title? Sure. Do we want to show the post info? So this would be the post date, the post author, and any post comments. No, I don't think so. Do we want to show a post excerpt? I'm going to say no, no content. And let's save. Let's see what happens. And here we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 most recent posts. Only one post has a thumbnail, so that's being displayed. And there are our recent posts. So now we're starting to get a sidebar that's really filled in. We'll close that. What else would we like to add? We could add a custom menu. So we created a couple of custom menus in a previous movie, and we have 2 menus to choose from. We have the footer menu and the main menu. So let's just create a menu called links, and we'll add the main menu. So now we've got links. Let's add another menu, just because we can, and we'll call it more links. And we'll add the footer menu. and these are the links that we have in the footer. So adding content to your sidebar is pretty simple. Genesis comes with, let's see here, three custom widgets. These are widgets that you don't see in a default installation of WordPress. The rest of these widgets are included with WordPress by default. A lot of these are really fun widgets. You'll just have to add widgets and see what works for you, see what you like to do. If you have any questions, you can reach me directly. I'm Angela at themehoney.com.